This evening, I want to talk to you about something that is of equal importance to our country. This is something that is affecting the livelihoods of a number of our people from other parts of our country. Inclusion rather than exclusion is at the heart of our policies as NASA. The issue on my mind today is the continued subjugation of the Ma and other pastoral communities in our country. 2 days ago, the Ma community in Laikipia County experienced what last happened only to their ancestors in the colonial Kenya. Estimates indicate that the Ma community of Laikipia had at least 300 heads of their cattle shot dead and tens of hundreds wounded by Kenya police on grounds that the herders had ventured into the private ranches in search of pastures. This sad incident came against the backdrop of a severe drought that had seen the pastoralist community in the region lose thousands of goats, sheep, and cattle. Of course, the whole world knows what livestock means to the Ma community in particular, and pastoralists in general. That single emaciated cow, goat, or sheep that means nothing to non-pastoralist communities in Kenya is equivalent to a matatu, rental or commercial house, a bus, or a plot of land that other communities value as source of survival. To the Ma and all other pastoralist communities, the cow, the goat, the sheep or camel, taken for granted and viewed as a nuisance by other communities, the equivalent of a university degree that all other Kenyans do everything to attain. Shooting dead those animals is the equivalent of burning or cutting down of coffee or tea plantations in central Kenya and the Rift Valley, or setting aflame to acres of sugarcane plantations in western Kenya and Nyanza, and sinking hundreds of fishing boats in Nyanza, Turkana, and the coast. It amounts to economic immobilization of the pastoral communities. Nature and our Creator bless different parts of this country, different sources of economic sustenance. The cow, the goat, the sheep, the camel mean the difference between poverty and prosperity among the pastoral communities. To destroy them, to show contempt and utter disregard for these communities. It is cynical, immoral, heartless, and outrightly unacceptable. For the Ma of Samburu and Laikipia to have over 300 of their herds of cattle slaughtered, not by some foreign invading force or the foreign settlers and ranchers that we occasionally blame for such misfortunes, but by members of the Kenya Police Service, is as callous as a regime can be. It is the most open display of impunity and utter disregard for the livelihoods and survival of long marginalized communities. It is the greatest manifestation of the disconnect that exists between our citizens, their aspirations, and the national government that ideally should be working in the interest of all its citizens. The last time this kind of insensitivity happened to the Maasai community was in the 1900s, the early 1900s, when the British colonial authorities, with interest in the Laikipia plains, confiscated at least 5,000 herds of cattle and burnt more than 5,000 huts and grain stores to make the Maasai give space. Strangely, the colonialists knew what the cattle meant to the Maasai. They confiscated the cattle rather than kill them. Kenyan police, on the other hand, killed the cattle in a show of utter contempt of the community's way of life. For that kind of callousness to be applied in independent Kenya by police paid and sustained by taxpayers is a manifestation of a deep-seated problem that must be addressed once and for all. We therefore demand that President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government pay the herdsmen at prevailing market rates for their livestock that were killed by police 3 days ago. We also demand that the government provides the pastoralists with the permanent means of sustaining their livelihoods during the droughts, including controlled access to the ranches that may have water and pasture during moments of droughts. The criminalization of pastoralism as a way of life must stop. This country must accept that it has pastoralists, farmers, and other economic groupings that together all the groupings contribute to the economic well-being of the nation. No single economic activity must be viewed to be superior or to the other. We also demand a clear policy for coexistence between the ranchers and the pastoralists from whom the lands were taken. Nobody must be condemned to inferior livelihood and criminalized for their chosen way of progressing economically. Uhuru Kenyatta must assure Kenyans that this country belongs to all communities that found themselves within its borders, or that it belongs to only a few and the rest can take a walk. It is time the government brought to a stop the years of marginalization and criminalization of the Maasai and other pastoralist communities. It is wrong and criminal that these communities are seen merely as voting machines to support the political agenda of rival communities and economic groupings. The Maasai deserve protection and respect like all other Kenyans. They deserve that assurance from the government. End of statement. I'd like to ask my colleagues here.
Maybe a question?
Mine, I just want to repeat what I said yesterday, is that my heart really does bleed for the Maa nation. It is very sad that a very peaceful community can be subjected to such heinous crimes. I want to call upon all the Maasai people from Marsabit, Samburu, Narok, Kajiado, all the way to Rombo, to resist this kind of regime. Before the late Gaiseri died, he passed a gazette notice, literally militarizing the place where we've occupied for centuries. And now, this regime has continued, and the aim is really to destroy our people. And now a lot of them are saying, oh, the Maasais no longer have someone to defend them. We are united as a Maasai. And I want to thank the Right Honorable Raila Odinga for standing firm with the community. And this is why I want to appeal to my brothers and sisters and tell them, so I want to call upon all our people to please resist this regime and stand firm with Raila Odinga, because he's the only person who is carrying our hopes and our aspirations.
It's really very, very painful as the former member of parliament in Laikipia to see the government doing massacre to our animals. And I want to assure the Maa community, whether we are in parliament, whether we are out of the parliament, we must stand as a community, and we are ready to fight for this cause, because a cow is our livelihood. This means that this government, since the gazettement of those areas that dangerous and disturbed by the late Ngaiseri on 2016 on November, we have lost more than 20,000 cows. It's not only 400 cows. And this is livelihood. We have been talking about it, but this government is giving us a debt here. I want to thank our Honorable President Raila Amolo Odinga, who is standing for this community. But as a community, as my colleague said, we will unite all together to fight for our right. And I want to tell the Maa fraternity, stand up for your right. Stand up and unite, and let us fight for our rights. Thank you.
I think may I be very, very brief. Our message to the government is that as a Maa community, we are united. And our message to the government is enough is enough. We are ready to bite the bullet to make sure that our animals are safe and our people. It has come to a point whereby we can't digest anymore, and it is very, very, very uncouth for a tanker to go killing our animals instead of them dealing with Al-Shabaab. And I'm very happy at least the Right Honorable is here with us and standing firm with us, and we are solidly behind him. And our message also to the government, they look for other alternative means of solving these problems than killing our livestock. Because that's our land in the first place. They know how the land went to the Muzungus back in 1904. They twisted Olonana, and we are telling them that is our land and we are going nowhere. The government should come in between us and the Muzungus, and we look for solutions of how we could access those ranches. Even if it's at a fee, we are ready to pay. But killing our animals should stop. Thank you. Questions?
Yes, that is relevant. Not for this. Focus.
I just wanted to get your So I just wanted to get the comment with the NASA principle.
This we got that. That is not subject for this press conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give them what kind of time? We want them to do this immediately. Look at how much time we are giving the government. We ask the government to move with speed to compensate these people. The people stated how they should be compensated, and also to ensure that this practice is stopped forthwith. We don't want to see a repeat of this.
The military is
sending the military, the police, to shoot live animals. If they even took these animals for KMC, that would be understandable, and you pay them. Now you shoot animals and leave them rotting down there. That is basically barbarism. Because Kenyans are hungry. At least give that meat to the Kenyans. Buy it. When there was drought the other time and we were in government, we mobilized resources. We were buying the animals from all the pastoralists at a fixed price and bringing them to KMC for slaughter. Now, instead of the government negotiating with these communities to offload these animals because of the drought and so on, they just go and shoot. You see, this is a very serious issue. And I wonder why it's not even covered in editorial of any of the newspapers today. It's a very serious issue for government to send the police officers to go and aim and shoot 400 cows just shoot and dump them there to rot. I don't know where this would happen in this world.
No.
It does not happen in any civilized society. It can only happen in the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you very much.